Good morning. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at adding using the column method. So you've already done this before, but we're just going to recap just so that we know what we're doing. So first of all, how could I describe the process of adding? So adding is getting the total amount of something. So for example, if I went to a shop and I was putting someone shopping through the checkout, I would take all of the items in the customer's basket and add them together to find the total amount that they owed. So I would take all of their shopping and I would add it together, okay, to find the total. First of all, we're going to remind ourselves how to partition. Can we remember what the word partition means? So if we partition something, it means we split our number up into its place value. So that is into your thousands, your hundreds, your tens, your ones. So if I've got the number 408, I want to put that number into my place value column. So I'm going to start at the right hand side of my number because that is my ones column, isn't it? Okay, so the number in my ones column would be my number 8. I would then move across to my 0. So my 0 would come in my next column along to the left. So my next column next to my ones would be my tens. So my 0 would come in my tens column. My 4 would then go to the next one on my left, which would be my hundreds column. So my 4 would go into my hundreds column as so. So now I've put my numbers into my place value, I can work out the value of each of my numbers. So if my 4 is in my hundreds column, that means I've got 4 lots of 100. So 4 lots of 100 would be 400. My 0 is in my tens column, so that means I've got 0 lots of 10, which would be 0. And my 8 would be in my 1 column, which means that I've got 8 lots of 1, which would be 8. So if I was going to put that into a calculation, I could write 400, 0 and 8. The 400 add 0 add 8 would be 408. Okay, so that's how I'm splitting my number up. Have a go at this one. So write down on a piece of paper your thousands, your hundreds, your tens and your ones column. See if you can partition 654. So pause the video and have a go for a few minutes. So if I put my number into my place value column, I've got 6 hundreds, 5 tens and 4 ones. So if I wanted to put that into my calculation, I could have 600, add 50, add 4, which would be 654. Well done if you got that correct. Have a look at this one. How would I do this one? So I've got an extra number on the end of this one, so that means I need to move into my thousands column. Have a go for a few minutes, just pause the video. So this time I've got 8 thousands, 9 hundreds, 3 tens and 2 ones. So if I wanted to put that into my number sentence, I would have 8,000 plus 900 plus 30 plus 2, which equals 8,932. Okay, so have a look then at this addition. So I've got 42 plus 432. If I wanted to put this into my place value, into my column addition, how would I do it? What would I need to make sure were lined up? So I would need to make sure that both of my ones columns were lined up. So my 2 twos need to be lined up. I would then move across to my tens column. I would need to make sure that they are also lined up. So in 42, my 10 is 4. And in 432, my tens are 3. So they would need to be lined up. There's nothing underneath the 4 because in 42 I've got no hundreds. So have a look at this one then. How would I position this one? What would I need to make sure were positioned underneath each other? Have a think and we'll have a look and see if you're right. So again, I need to make sure my ones column was lined up. So my 6 is my 1 in 436 and my 3 is my 1 in 63. So they are lined up. In my tens column, in 63 I've got 6 and in 436 I've got 3, so they also need to be lined up. I've got no hundreds in 63, therefore there's nothing underneath my 4. Well done if you got that correct. So what happens then when we add two numbers together? So if I've got 435 plus 523, I want to put that now into my column. So I'm going to write my hundreds and tens and ones above my column because then it's going to help me to work out which number goes where. So then I'm going to put 435 in. Let's just check I've got that right. So I've got 4 hundreds, 3 tens and 5 ones. And then I'm going to put 523 underneath. Again, I've got 500s, 2 10s and 3 1s. Therefore, that is lined up correctly. Okay, so from there, I'm going to start with my ones column and I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to do 5 add 3, which is 8. And I'm going to write that underneath. Make sure you keep it lined up because if you keep your columns lined up, then it's really easy to do. You'll start to get confused if your columns aren't lined up correctly. I'm then going to move to my tens column. So I can see I've got a 3 and a 2 in my tens column. So I'm going to add them together, which makes 5. And then I'll move to my hundreds column. I've got a 4 and a 5 in my hundreds column. So I'm going to add them together to create 9. So my answer would be 958. Can you do this one with me? So first of all then, we're going to put our hundreds, tens and ones for our columns. Underneath, I'm going to start with 654, 600s, 5 tens and 4 ones. And underneath that, I'm going to put that's right, I'm going to put 463 underneath. So again, I've got 400s, 6 tens and 3 ones. Okay, once I've done that, which column am I going to start with? That's right, I'm going to start with my ones column and I'm going to add them together. So I've got 4 add 3, which is 7. Then I'm going to move to my tens column. So I've got 6 add 5. 6 add 5 is 11. So what am I going to do? So I'm going to put 1 in my tens column. Okay, so that's my 1. I'm going to then carry my 110 over to my hundreds column. Okay, so you put your 1 from your ones column underneath your tens, and then you move your 110 over to your hundreds column. I'm then going to do 6 add 4. So 6 add 4 is 10. Don't forget to add the 1 that's underneath, so that would make 11. So again, your 1 from your tens goes underneath your hundreds, and then you carry your 1 left over, okay? And that comes into your thousands column. So then your answer would be 1,117. Have a go at these ones. Pause the video and see if you can do them in your column addition. We will come back together in a few minutes to have a look at the answers and see if you are correct. Good luck. So here are the answers for the first 3 questions. Have a look. Did you get them correct? Did you go wrong anywhere? Can you see where you went wrong if you did go wrong? And these are your last 2 questions. Again, have a look. Did you get them right? If you went wrong, where did you go wrong? Can you correct them? Okay, remember during this period when we're not in school to make sure that you go outside and have some fresh air every day, okay, and make sure you are keeping yourself safe, and I will speak to you again soon.